right, so we'll take a look at hyperbolas part 2. All right, so determine the equation of hyperbola given the foci and the vertices. All right, so first you got to sketch it so you can see if it's horizontal or vertical. So if I'm given the vertices, so remember my vertices on this is transverse, okay, so it's vertical. So that means the negative is with the x. When I write my equation, the negative needs to go with the x. All right, so what is my center? So remember the center is the middle of, from one vertex to the other, that'll be my center. So add them together and divide by 2. Add them together and divide by 2. So that's going to be my center, which is 2, 3. This is a listening check. Color in the page number, which is also my HK. All right, now let's find the distance between each vertex, which we know is 2a, right? That distance, using the distance formula, if you label x1, y1, x2, y2, is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, which is going to give me, so that's going to be 0 there, negative 16 squared, square root, it will be 16. So to find a, I just divide that by 2, so I get a is equal to 8. All right, what else are we given? We're given the foci, and you know the foci is what letter? C, right? So 2c is the distance between one foci to the other. It's going to be 2c's. And again, using the distance formula, you're going to get 34 divided by 2, so you can find this, the distance from the center, which is 17. Okay, now we have a new formula. So instead of what we had before, we have c squared is a squared plus b squared. So this time it's plus, okay? Plug in what you know. So b is the square root of c squared minus a squared, which is 17 squared minus 8 squared, which is going to give me 15. So now I have a, b, and my center. I can write down my equation. So my equation, remember, negative is with the x. So you're going to write y minus k, which is 3 squared, minus x minus 2 squared, all over, and a squared goes first. So that's 64, then b squared, which is 225. Okay. All right, we'll take a look at another example. So I'll do one side, you do the other. All right, so now you're given the center, a focus, and a covertex. Again, you start off with, I'm given my center H and K. Okay, what else am I given? Focus, and the focus, remember, is on the same line as your main, right? So that's my center. My focus is about here. So this is a horizontal, which means it's horizontal x, so I'm going to think opposite. So my negative goes with my y. Okay, so you kind of just rough sketch it so you can see. All right, now, so let's find the distance between my center and my focus. That's going to be just c, not 2c, but just c. That distance is going to be x2 minus x1 squared, y2 minus y1 squared. When you simplify that, you're going to get 13. All right, now what else am I given? I'm given my covertex, so that's b. From the center to my covertex is just b. So again, using the distance formula, x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1, b comes out to be 12. So this is not 2b or 2c because it's from the center. So you do need to keep that in mind. All right, so what else am I missing? Just a. So c squared is a squared plus b squared, and we're going to solve for a. So a is the square root of c squared minus b squared, which is the square root of 13 squared minus 12 squared, which is going to give me a is equal to the square root of 25. So that makes a equals to 5. And now that I have my a, b, and my center, I can write my equation. Keeping in mind my negative is with y. So I'm going to start off with x. So x minus h, which is negative 6, that's plus 6 squared, minus y minus my y, which is negative 1, so that's positive 1, all over a squared on the first one, b squared on the second one. And that's it. All right. Again, on this side, I'll do the left, you do the right. All right, so find the foci given the equation. Okay, so from the equation, what do I know? I know that's a squared. What else do I know? I know that that's b squared. And then I know that the negative is with x, so the opposite is going to make it vertical. Okay, let's find my center. This is a listening check. Put a box around example 7. So my center is going to be just pulling it from the equation, negative 8, negative 4. A is equal to the square root of 81, which is 9. B is the square root of 49, which is 7. All right, using c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared, because I'm looking for the foci, so I need c, right? All right, plugging in the numbers I have, c is the square root of a squared, which is 9 squared, plus b squared, which is 7 squared. And that's going to give me square root of 81 plus 49, which is 130, roughly 11.4. Okay, so that's the distance C. So I'm given the center, and I need to go C distance away from the center to get to my foci. So let's graph my center so we can get a visual. So somewhere around here. So my center is -8, -4. And I'm going to add C. And because it's vertical, the only thing that's going to change is my Y value. So keep X the same, and I'm going to add C to my Y and subtract C from my Y. And that's going to give me my new foci points, which is going to be -8. What's that? -4 plus that is going to give me 7.4. -4 minus 11.4 is going to give me -15.4. So those are my two foci points. This is a listening check. Color in the foci coordinates. All right, I'll do example 9. So remember, before I can do anything, this has to be in standard form. So let's go ahead and complete the square. We'll factor out 49. That's going to leave me with x squared plus, and then 98 divided by 49 is 2x. We're going to do the same thing to the y. Factor out -25. So 350 divided by -25 is going to give me -14. Take that to the other side. It's going to be plus 2,401. All right, then go ahead and write it all out again with just the x term and just the y term. Okay, and then let's do our three-step process. So divide by 2. It's going to give me 1. Square it. 1 squared is 1. Multiply it and apply it to the other side. So 49 times 1. Apply that to the other side. So that's plus 49. All right, three-step process again. Divide by 2. That's going to give me -7. Square it. Plus 49. Multiply and apply to the other side. -25 times 49 is -1225. All right, go ahead and combine all of that. You're going to get 1225. All right. Now, this does not look like standard form because it's not equal to 1. So what I have to do is divide it by 1225 so it can be equal to 1. So let's simplify that. That's going to go 25 times. 49 goes in there 25 times. And 25 goes in this one 49 times. Okay, so let's write that out. So x plus 1 squared minus y minus 7 squared over 49 is equal to 1. This is now standard form, and I can answer any question they ask me for. They're asking me for the isotopes. What do I need to know? I need to know A, B, and center. So here's my center, -1, 7. What's A? A is the square root of that, which is 5. What's B? B is the square root of that, which is 7. So now I have everything I need. I just need to write my equation. Well, what is my equation? All right, so remember, horizontal and vertical, we made a shortcut, right? So you do need to keep that in mind. So I'm going to show you the formula again. So it's B over A. All right, so it's y, the equation of any line, right? Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1 with this, and I'm going to use the center being h and k. So my x1 and my y1 is hk. So y minus my y1, which is k, m, x minus my x1, which is h. And we just said that the m, when it's horizontal, is going to be b over a. Taking k to the other side, I'm going to get y equals plus or minus b over a, x minus h plus the k I just took over. So I just need to put in the numbers. So what's b? B is 7. So it's plus or minus 7 over 5, which is a. X minus h, h is -1, so that's plus 1, plus k, which is 7, plus or minus. So one's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. And those are the equation of my isotopes. Okay, let's practice.